Hello boys and girls, today we're gonna do lesson 10.6. Today is Tuesday and our lesson is gonna be about tally charts. So yesterday we learned how to read tally charts. Today we are going to learn how to make them. So make sure you are in the right lesson 10.6. It's page 605, 605, and once again the name of the lesson is Make Tally Charts. Our essential question is, why is a tally chart a good way to show information that you have collected? Alright boys and girls, so let's take a look at our first tally chart. What is it that we see? Well, we see the category that we're looking at in this tally chart is for favorite game or favorite game. And here you can see in this column you have three different games. You have card game, you have puzzle, and you have board game. Over here we have the tally marks, and finally over here you have the total numbers. All right, so I already started doing these, so I'm just gonna continue with you. Let's see how many kids like the card game. We take a look at the card game. If we remember from yesterday's lesson, what we had to do, we count the sticks, and once you have these, boys and girls, this is always equal to 5. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 across, that equals to 5. Now, puzzles. Let's see how many kids like puzzles. We're gonna count. We have 1, 2, and 3 sticks. So that means that only 3 kids said that they like puzzle best. And last we have board game. This is a picture of a board game. How many kids said they like board games? So there are 2 ways to count these tally marks. The easiest one is to remember that this means 5, so it's easier to count by 5. You say 5 and 5 more is 10. Another way that we can do this is by counting 1 by 1. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it gives you the same thing. The answer is still 10. Alright boys and girls, let's keep going to see our next question. Our next question says, use the tally chart to answer the questions. Which game did the most children choose? Circle. Alright, so let's take a look at our numbers. Which one do you think? Now you're comparing between the three games, the card game, the puzzle, and the board game. Which one do you think that most of the kids chose? Which one has the greatest number? You're comparing 3 different numbers now. Which one is the greatest number? If you said 10, you're right. 10 is the greatest number. What stands for 10? The board game. So we come over here and we circle the board game. Now let's move on to our last question about this tally chart. Which game did the fewest children choose? Fewest means less or least. Fewest. So once again, instead of finding out which one was the most, which one has the most votes, we want to know which one has the least, the fewest votes. So let's see. Is it the card games, the puzzle, or the board games? Let's go back. Card games, puzzle, or board game. Which one has the smaller number, the smallest number between the 3 of them? 3 is our smaller number, right? So what's for 3? 3 is puzzle. So we come over here at the bottom and we are going to circle the puzzle. Alright boys and girls, so it's time for us to turn the page. Let's go ahead and turn the page. Uh-oh, page doesn't want to turn now. Here we go, let's see what we have here. Now it says, how can you make a tally chart to show the boats at the lake? How can we draw tally marks? Well, instead of reading tally marks, now we are going to draw tally marks. So the first, we have the 2 categories. We have the sailboats here, and it says boats with sails and boats without sails. So let's see. They said that we have how many boats with sails? 2. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna trace these lines. Is that it? Do we have any other boat with sails? Yes, we do. And if you look closely at the picture, you can see we can cross this out. We can trace this. We can trace it. We can trace it. We can trace it. And now we can see how many more sailboats do we have. We already have 2 over here that we mark, and then after 2 we say 3, so you can cross it out, 3, and then 4. How many sailboats do we have in all? 4. So we go back, and now we are going to mark it on our tally chart. So we already have 2, we go to 3 and 4. And then we can write the total in numbers here too. We have 4 sailboats on this lake. Now, how about the boats without sail? The kayaks, right? I probably didn't tell you, boys and girls, that I was great at kayaking when I was a teenager. That was one of my favorite sports. So let's count. Well, we also have boats here. We're gonna count all of the ones, and we have a canoe here too. So we're basically counting the ones that do not have a sail. These are the ones that have sail. We're not gonna count the ones that have sail. Again, we're gonna count the ones without a sail. So we begin over here. We say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 sail boats without a sail. So here we go. We say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then number 5 doesn't go next to it. Number 5 goes across. Now you have 5, and one more is 6. All right, boys and girls. So that was our tally chart for the boats at the lake. Boats at the lake. Let's move on to our next problem. It says, use the picture to complete the tally chart. Then answer each question. Now you're looking at a fish tank. Let's take a look at this super cute fish tank. And we have only 2 different types of fish in this fish tank. We have zebra fish. The fish that looks green is called the zebra fish. And you have an angel fish. It looks kind of orange, yellowish orange. All right, so let's see how many zebra fish do we have. So we can do the tally marks. So the zebra fish, we have 1 over here hiding between the plants. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We have 5 zebra fish. So we come here and we are going to draw the tally marks for 5. We say 1, 2, 3, 4, and instead of putting 5 next to the other tally marks, we're gonna put 5 across. That is 5. And you can come over here and you can write the number 5. Now let's see how many angel fish we have. Let's see how many. We have 1, 2, and 3. Only 3 angel fish in that fish tank. 3. We're gonna draw 3 tally marks. 1, 2, and 3. And we're gonna write our number over here. That's 3. Alright, boys and girls, so let's go ahead and do number 1. Number 1 says, how many zebra fish are in the tank? That is very easy. All we have to do is look at the tally chart. And we can see that there are 5 zebra fish on our tally chart. Let's go to number 2. How many more? How many more? These are very key important words. How many more zebra fish than angel fish are there? So now we need to compare our 2 numbers. Boys and girls, when we compare, don't forget that we subtract. We take away. We want to know the difference between these 2 numbers. How do we know the difference between 2 numbers? We subtract, we take away. So you have 5. One way to solve 5 take away 3, or 5 minus 3, is to draw 5 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to take away 3. 1, 2, and 3. You have 2 left. 2 fish left. And that's what we're going to write here. 2 more zebra fish. The easiest way to solve this problem, 5 minus 3, is actually to count from the smaller to the greater number. So you say, how many more do I need to count from 3 to 5? After 3 we say 4, and then after 4 we say 5. We got to 5. How many circles did it take you to get from 3 to 5? Only 2. That's your answer. So that's another way to solve the subtraction. Boys and girls, question number 3. How many zebra fish and angelfish are in the tank. So now you're not comparing. And the keyword right here is and. And is your keyword. We need to find out how many fish in all. When we need to find out how many in all, we are going to add. So instead of subtracting, now we're going to add the two numbers that we have. We have 5 for the zebrafish and 3 for the angelfish. We add 5 plus 3. Now when we add, boys and girls, instead of looking for the smaller number, we look for the greater number, and we are going to add 3 more. So what number goes after 5? After 5 goes 6, 7, 8. We were counting on. Your answer is 8. There are 8 fish in total on the fish tank. Another thing that you can do is to count all the fish inside the fish tank. That's something else that you can do. Alright, so that was the last question for this page. And now we're leaving the fish tank behind. Say bye, fishy. And we're moving on to another tally chart. Alright, let's see what we have to do here. It says, which of these snacks do most children like the best? Ask 10 friends. Make 1 tally mark for each child's answer. Now, since we are not in class together and we cannot do these at the same time together, you have to watch the videos. I decided to come up with my own numbers, with our own numbers. So let's say that 5 kids in our class said there are 5 kids in the class that said pretzels are their favorite snack. On the other hand, there are 8 children in our class who said that apples are their favorite snack. Last, only 3 children in our class said that yogurt is their favorite snack. So we're gonna put these numbers as tally marks. 5. How do I show 5? I begin by drawing 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. And instead of putting 5 over here, no, we're gonna put it across. So right now we have 5 tally marks. Now we're moving on to number 8. 8 kids said that apples is their favorite snack. How do I show 8? That's what we're gonna do right now. I'm gonna begin drawing sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of putting 5 over here, I'm gonna put 5 across. And now that I have 5, I'm gonna continue counting because I need to get to 8. After 5 goes 6, 7, 8. And now I have 8. Finally, for our last type of snack, yogurt, only 3 kids said that they like yogurt. So I'm gonna draw the sticks, the tally marks. 1, 2, and 3, and that's it. Alright, boys and girls. So let's move on to number 4 for this tally chart. And it says, how many children chose pretzels? So pretzel is here. How many children chose pretzel? 5. Number 5, how many children chose yogurt? Yogurt, how many children chose yogurt? 3. Let's move on to question number 6. And question number 6 goes this way. Okay, it says, which snack do most children like best? Circle. Most, in this case, refers to the greatest number. Which one is the greatest number in this tally chart? Is it 5, 8, or 3? You're comparing 3 different numbers. If you said 8, you're right. What number is 8? Apples. So we're gonna come over here and we are going to circle apples. Apple is a snack that most of the children chose for our class. Now, let's move on to the next one. Question number 7. Question number 7 says, what if 6 children out of the 10 chose pretzels? Which snack would be the favorite? Circle. Okay, so now right here we're adding 6 more to that tally chart. But if 6 children out of the 10 chose pretzels, so we're going back to the bar graph and we are going to add 6 more. Don't forget that we are counting. We're counting not with the boats that we might have in our class, but we're counting with these numbers that we came out with. So we're gonna add 6 more. How do we add 6 more to pretzels? Okay, so we add 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doesn't go next to it. So 5 goes across. and then we put after 5 goes 6, right? So now, which one is the favorite one? Which one is the favorite snack right now? Which one is the snack that most of the children chose? Is it pretzels, apple, or yogurt? What do you think? We need to change this number because now our tallies change here, tally marks. So we say 5, and 5 more is 10. 10 and 1 more is 11. 11. So instead of 5, now here we have 11, right? Now, which one is the snack that most of the children chose? Look at the numbers. It's actually pretzels now because we added 6 more. So we go back to question number 7, and we are going to circle the pretzel. All right, boys and girls. So we're gonna write our own question about the tally chart. Over here, we had to circle the snack that most of the children chose, right? How about if we write a question asking ourselves, which one was the snack that the least of the children chose? And that's the question that we are going to ask ourselves. We can say, which, I'm trying to begin at the very, very beginning of the line, so we have enough space. Which snack, do not forget to leave a space between the words. Which snack did the least, oh, it's not gonna fit, least, but we can continue over here. Children which snack did the least children choose? It is a question, so we need to put question mark at the end. Now, do not forget, whenever you need to use a restroom, whenever you need to go eat something, including a snack, whenever you need a break, you pause the video and then we can continue. You unpause the video whenever you're ready and we go back to our lesson. I'll be waiting for you right here. All right, boys and girls. So let's continue to our last page for this lesson. This is actually the last page of the lesson, but we still have the math, the homework page. And it says, analyze relationships. It says, Jenna asked 10 friends to choose their favorite subject. She will ask 10 more children. So she asked all of these children already, and then she's gonna ask 10 more. Which are the subjects that she's asking for? She's asking for math, reading, and science. Well, how about if your favorite subject is social studies? It's not there. So you have to pick between one of the subjects that Jenna is offering, right? So let's see what are the numbers that we have for math. How many tally charts do we have, tally marks do we have for math? For math, you can say 5 because these you must remember that these means 5 now. Or you can simply count them. You say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 1 more is 6. So there you go. Now you have a total of 6. 6 children said, hey, my favorite subject is math. And reading. Let's go for reading. How many children said their favorite subject was reading? We have 1 and 2. And then for the last one, science. How many kids said their favorite subject was science? Only 2. Again. So these are our totals right now. Number 9, we're gonna predict. When we predict, boys and girls, we say what we think is gonna happen. Now we have to be good with predictions. We don't have to give the exact answer, but we can just not guess. A prediction, it's an educated guess. So that's what I want you to do. Let's see. Which subject will children most likely choose? Based on what we know, boys and girls, what subject do you think that the rest of the 10 children that she's going to ask next, which one do you think is going to be their favorite subject based on what we have? If you said math, you are right. Based on what we have, math is already the winning subject. So it's okay to think that the next 10 children that she will ask will say math as well. So we're gonna put math over here. That's the subject that most likely the next 10 kids will choose as their favorite subject. Question number 10, we're gonna continue predicting. Predict, which subject will children least likely choose? Now we have a tie over here. I don't know if you can see, we have a 2 and a 2. So that means that this is a tie for reading and science. Based on these numbers that we can see over here, boys and girls, we can predict that the next 10 children are less likely to choose reading or science as their favorite subject. Since reading and science have the same number, we are going to put them together. Reading and science are the less likely subjects students will pick. Reading, and then science is gonna be over here at the bottom. Because they're tied with 2. Alright, boys and girls, let's read question number 11. How can you prove if your prediction is good? Try it. How can you prove if your prediction is good? Well, we can prove it based on what we already know, and that's what we're gonna write. Well, we can say we are using what we already know. We are using what we know from the tally chart. And now we can add a period at the end of the sentence. And before you close your packet, let's do question number 12. It's okay. Here we go. Complete the tally chart to show the number of votes. So here we have another tally chart, and here we have to draw the tally chart. So you already have the totals like we had before. And then remember when we did the one about the snacks, you had the numbers and we did the tally charts. We're gonna do the same thing right now. So the fruit that we like, 4 children said that they like apple. So they put four marks, 1, 2, 3, and 4. How about for bananas? How many kids said they like bananas? It's actually only 5 of them said they like bananas. This is how we draw tally marks for 5. We say 1, 2, 3, 4, and instead of putting 5, another stick over here, we put number 5 goes across. Our last fruit is grapes. Only 2 kids said they like grapes. 2. So we're gonna put 2 over here. We say 1 and 2, and that's it. All right, boys and girls. So let's review really quick what you're gonna do for homework today. And you're done. You're done with math for today. It says, which color do most children like best? As 10 friends, make 1 tally mark for each child's answer. So I know you're not in class and you might not have a lot of brothers and sisters. So if you want to ask your parents, and if you want to ask someone over the phone, you can also do so. And I just want you to remember, boys and girls, that once you have these, you have 4 tally marks and 1 across. This is equal to 5. So very important that you remember that. 4 tally marks and 1 across is equal to 5. So go ahead and find people that you can ask. Don't forget, stay 6 feet away. Well, if you're at home, and that's fine. But don't go on the street or anything, please. Just ask your family members at home. And if you have a grandma or grandpa that you can talk to on the phone, you can also ask them, hey, grandma or grandpa, which one is your favorite color, red or blue? And you're going to draw the tally marks and you're going to put the total over here. Then you're going to say how many children chose red, or how many people chose blue. Let's take a look over here. And then here you have the tally chart is already done for you. And it says, Jason asked 10 friends to choose their favorite game. He will ask 10 more children. So predict, which game will children most likely choose? Don't forget, the one that has the most tally marks is the one that most children already chose. And that's actually the one that most children will pick. The most likely. We don't know, but that's the one, the most likely one. Predict. Which game will children least likely choose? So the game that has the least votes, tag, that's the one that's the most likely, or that's the least likely children will choose. All right, so the one that has the most votes is that the most likely to be chose again. The one with the less votes is the least likely to be chosen again. Don't forget, you're gonna write the names of the sports. The name of the sports are tag, kickball, and hopscotch. All right, our last question for math for this page. Write a question that can be answered by making a tally chart. I want you to think about it and see if you can come up with another answer that you might ask about a tally chart. All right, boys and girls, let's move on to our last page for this lesson. And here we have another tally chart. Which insect did the most children choose? We're gonna circle our answer. Let's take a look at it. Which one was the one the most children chose? Which one is the greater number? You're gonna circle one of the pictures right here. Question number 2, boys and girls. Circle the number that is greater than 54. You're gonna write the number. Which of these numbers is greater than 54? Look at the tens, look at the ones. Which of these numbers is greater than 54? You're gonna write it here and then here. Our last question, boys and girls, we're gonna use the model. Write the number 3 different ways. So this is actually pretty old. We did this probably about 2 months ago. And that was the bell. That was our classroom bell, because I'm in the class right now. And we can see, boys and girls, that inside, this is the 10 frame, and inside the 10 frame, everything is filled in. So we can see that we have 110, right? We have 110. 110 is the same thing as 10, right? And then how many ones do we have? We count the single cubes and we write it down. The ones don't change. The ones is gonna be the same number. So basically you're gonna add 10 plus the amount of ones that you have, and that's gonna give you an answer. You can also count all the cubes together and you should have the same answer that you got by adding 10 plus the ones. Alright, boys and girls, that was the last bit of our lesson 10.6 for math. Do not forget that today you're gonna do social studies. Alright, bye. See you later for social studies.